Hi, I'm Natalia Nicholson, founder of Women in Digital Business, where we empower underrepresented women to thrive in the digital world. Right, so we're going to be looking at the elements of high converting copy because essentially what you're doing is copywriting in terms of you writing and coming up with the headline of your masterclass and a brief description. So when we're looking at putting copy together, generally, sometimes if it was email, you've got a pre-headline. You've then got your main headline, you've got a sub-headline, and some brief description or blurb. And what you should be doing here is really explaining the problem. And you also want to agitate the problem. And within that, you want to introduce a solution and really think about the benefits. There's a big difference between benefits and features. Okay, the feature of something is, if you had a bottle of water, it's a plastic bottle of spring water, for example. The benefits of that water, that is, if you drink water, you'll have clearer skin, you'll be more alert, you'll live longer. It's the benefits of what the water does. And we should always be speaking to benefits, and we shouldn't be, speaking to the feature of what something does. And quite often when we're in our own business, we speak about features, but what someone wants to know is how it's going to transform them, how it's going to benefit them. And you also want to think about, price and risk reversal. There might be a risk to whatever it is that you're offering, and you might want to get in there that there is no risk, or what, listen to this masterclass, do it, get something at a price you've never seen before. We've all seen it, 10x your business. Some of them are more salesy than others. And everything in your copy should always have a call to action. If there's one thing I want you to remember when you're delivering your masterclass, at the end of it, you should have a strong call to action. Because if you don't, what you risk is having a great masterclass, but you haven't actually told your delegates, your listeners, this is what I want you to do next. If you connect, if this is you, these are the steps that I want you to take that's going to help you solve your problem. And really, all of you should be trying to push traffic into some type of funnel. You should be trying to collect people's details to then nurture them. To go from cold traffic just into expecting someone to buy, you've got to create the steps after this masterclass that's going to get someone to know, like, trust, and buy from you. So you need to have your own nurturing system. And we will look at that, by the way. Next week, I want to look at actually putting your masterclass together and putting a story together. And then after that, I really want to look at, how do you create a framework of being able to nurture someone beyond the masterclass and beyond the summit. So the pre-headline is what comes before a main headline. And the purpose of a pre-headline is just to qualify your prospect. So for some of you, you might have a pre-headline. You don't want your headlines to be too long. After today's session, some of you might be thinking, Natalia, there's no way I can fit all of that into a headline. But what it's going to do is frame your mind about the messaging that you want to get across. And then after today's session, you can refine it. You can go to ChatGPT to, drill it down and make it more concise or more succinct. But today in this session, I want you to think about all the things that I'm saying to you. Take your notes, and actually I'm going to do an exercise with you. So actually, if everybody makes sure they've got a pen and paper to hand, because we're actually going to do an activity. One of the best ways to learn is to actually just do it in the session, and I'm big on that. Rather than me just, spewing, and it's lecture style and it sounds great. And then once you're in your room doing it, it's kind of like, what was that again? So we're actually going to do it together. So if you don't have a pen and paper to hand, please do get one. But your pre-headline is really there to qualify your prospect. You want to tell people who your masterclass is for. You want to ensure the intended person, it is really going to read the headline. They're going to read what comes next. So an example is, attention high achieving women. I mean, that's quite a basic one, but you want to get the attention of your audience. You want to tell them who it is that you're targeting. Are you targeting those who are coming from corporate America? Are you targeting those that are coming from DEI? Are you targeting those that suffer from burnout and always tired? Does that make sense? You want to have something that pre-qualifies them. It makes sure that the right people are going to sign up or watch your masterclass. Okay, so great headlines really hook a prospect in. Even your masterclass, it should always be the hook, the story, the offer. And that's what I'm going to be going through next week. But you want to have a great headline that hooks people in to stop them from clicking away. If you think about your Instagram feed, a lot of us will scroll. Like, did you know we scroll on average 2.8 miles a day, the average person? If only I could do that amount of steps. That's a lot of scrolling. Think about when you stop. You tend to stop when you really get the headline grabs you. Okay. So it's really, really, really important. You want to speak to the emotional needs of your audience. A bad headline is not going to convert. You're going to have a really poor conversion rate. And always remember with headline and copy that 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule, that it should always be 80% valuable content. And then it should be 20% sales. You should never lead from just sales. It should be consultative. You should be giving someone something. And sometimes, especially Black female entrepreneurs, we give too much away. And we give too much away because we're hungry and we definitely want that client and we want them to come in. But actually, you're better off giving them something valuable. But how you don't give them too much away, I always explain it like this. Think about your knowledge and what you know like an onion. Your job is to give something valuable away that is like 3 to 5 layers of an onion. The layer's got really thin onions. And for someone to know more about what you've done, they need to go to your next step. And that next step is where you're going to take them off the summit into your own form of automation. Okay, so remember the 80-20 rule, 80% content, 20% sales. Try not to give too much away, but it's got to be valuable. So sometimes I find that it's either one end of the spectrum or the other. So what I mean by that is I tend to find that a lot of Black female entrepreneurs either give way too much away, meaning people just keep coming back for something free, or I find that they don't give enough away, so they tend to deliver something that their audience already knows. They're not really hammering into the pain points and offering a solution. So just remember that 80-20 rule. Why is my slide not moving? Here we go. So you want to understand your audience more. You want to really think to yourself, okay, who is my audience and who are the segments in your audience? When I say segments, if I was selling bags to mums, well, what type of mums am I selling to? Am I selling to mums that have just had a newborn because they need a nappy bag? Am I selling to mums that drop their kids off to nursery, then go into the city to work? All these mums need different types of bags. So I want you to think about your target audience. I want you to think about the summit. I've spoken to all of you personally, and I've made it quite clear. Our summit really does track a lot of Black female entrepreneurs that are moving from the corporate world into wanting to start their own business. They're at an age and stage in life where they can't afford to maybe take the risk they once could. So they need help. They want to be able to make sure they've got a solid plan to be able to make that transition and make sure that they can make the same amount of money they were making in corporate and more. So to do that, they're very much more strategic and they're planning their exit route. So that's a larger portion of our audience. You've also got the audience who are content creators, so more of a younger demographic, those who are looking for strategy. They understand the technology, they, understand how to put themselves out there, they're quite confident, but they don't actually have the strategy and don't really understand some of the fundamental grassroots challenges of business. And that's where they will look to this summit to be able to tap into a whole room full of wisdom to be able to help them. Also think, well, my audience, entirely does the summit cover my audience? We make sure that we reach out to everyone and anyone. That's why we run ads, who's a Black female entrepreneur. But you've also got the opportunity to use this summit as a really great lead generator. Especially for those of you whose clientele's on LinkedIn, you should be doing lead generation right now and reaching out to people and saying, hey, how are you? I'm going to be speaking at a summit. I'm going to be covering XYZ topic. I really do think that this would benefit you, and I'm going to be giving away X, Y, and Z. I'm going to help you with this pain point. All the things we're doing today, use this framework to be able to craft yourself a message where you actually use the summit as a way to invite people yourself to the summit, to your Pacific Masterclass, which will establish your authority. It's a great conversation opener because it's not like you're saying, buy from me. Let's face it, we're all on LinkedIn and we all get messages every day of, someone selling to us. People, especially on the LinkedIn platform, do feel pretty sold to. So you want to make sure that when you're sending them the message, you make it conversational. So being a part of the summit, talking about the cause and why you felt it was important to speak at this summit, what they're going to learn at this summit, what they're going to walk away with, how it's going to help them with the solution to the pain point and challenge they've got, and being able to craft those messages and give away tickets to the event is absolutely key in terms of you being able to have the audience that you want on your masterclass. We promote this event everywhere and it's just getting bigger and bigger. But at the same time, if you want to drive traffic to your masterclass of the right target audience that you know your masterclass was built for, make sure you're doing the lead gen and make sure you're inviting people and directing them. Princess, if you could put a link to the ticket page into the chat, that would be great. I think there's one that's got a UTM that's for speakers. So obviously we can always track where the traffic's coming from in terms of the tickets afterwards. So if we can just pop that link into the chat, it's in your onboarding document, but just in case, this is something that you want to open up and make sure you bookmark. We are all part of WhatsApp groups, family ones, community ones, church ones. We're a part of a lot of WhatsApp groups. Crafting messages. You want to really point people to the fact that you are at this summit. All of you will be covered on our social media. There's also the opportunity to be able to upgrade your coverage for social media and get carousels designed, video static posts. Again, it's in your onboarding document. If you go to additional services, that's something we can do, and you might use that to promote yourself at the summit. I think if you're in the WhatsApp group, you would have seen some of them come through as examples. Danielle, love your video. Loved all your assets and the way that it came together, by the way. I thought that was great. Sorry, Danielle's on the call. So understand your audience. Okay, you're here to solve a problem with your masterclass. You want to challenge some type of widely held belief. Why do you want to challenge it? Because that widely held belief is probably what's stopping your prospect from doing what they want to do, or even stopping them potentially listening to your masterclass because they've got a belief about something. So you want to challenge it. And we're going to go through how you can really challenge people in terms of coming up with great headlines. You want to increase desire. You want to make sure you're tapping into pain points. Customer empathy mapping is really, really critical. If you can understand and see the world through your prospects' eyes and you can see things in their shoes from that viewpoint and you can really understand their pain points and you've got empathy for it, people will be attracted to you because they'll feel like, oh my gosh, she really understands me. And most of us have got a really powerful story, around the pain point because it's usually why we do what we do as a coach or consultant. Our story is the reason why it's led a lot of us into what we do and why we want to help others in that area, because we understand. Not everybody, and if you don't, that's absolutely fine. You've just got to be able to really be able to see things from your audience and the customer segment's point of view. Okay, you want to give them a reason to stop at the list of speakers and say, I'm definitely listening to that masterclass. This is for me. Okay, you want to create intrigue, excitement. You want to offer relief. Actually, I'm going to check this out. This might be the solution to where I'm at. Curiosity gets attention. As business owners, we've all heard about the USP, the unique selling point. And sometimes we got some, I'm just going to tell it as it is, a wishy-washy USP point, like we're competitive in pricing. We offer first-class customer service. I can do something better than someone else, whatever the case may be, but that doesn't actually make you unique. Your unique selling point needs to be like, what makes you stand out? Why would you work or come to my masterclass rather than going to anybody else's? So remember, with your masterclass, you've all got brief descriptions, because obviously you're not going to fit all of this into one title, but everybody's got different types of businesses and does different things. So I just want to cover all bases. Some things you might think, some things you might think, yeah, they definitely need to know about that with what I'm going through. So this is just a framework I'm giving you. It's for you to ultimately really think about what are the bits that I feel like I need to get across to people to attend my masterclass. And you always want to give the huge emotional benefit. You're never selling a product or service. You're selling the end result of what you do. And remember that. Okay, if you look at diet products are one of the best products to look at as an example. They're selling, being more confident, you being able to get a job, you being able to get into a relationship, all because you had weight loss. They don't speak to the amount of weight that you lose. They speak to what your life is going to look like once you've lost the weight. So think about the huge emotional benefits that your masterclass is really going to offer. And you just want to create your collateral first. So actually, writing the headline last is actually a lot easier, just to let you know. Sometimes it's easier to put together what it is that you want to get out in the masterclass. Does that make any sense? And actually work backwards. And by going through it, delivering it, reading it several times, if it's decks that you're designing, it's easier then to maybe put a headline together for some of you. Okay, so you almost want to work backwards, and then now you can brainstorm headlines. So maybe collate your collateral first. One of the things that I want to go through today is using formulas. So the formula that you can see on the screen at the moment is actually what's called the Steve Blank formula. Some of you might have heard of this before. Steve Blank, and this just works every single time it hits it on the head. Came up with a formula, and it starts with how to X benefit without Y pain point. Okay, and there's many variations this formula. Number of proven the action to achieve the desired result. And you would see some of these on the internet, by the way. As you've done this, I promise you, you're going to look at this and think, mm-hmm. And when you see on the internet things like, and we'll give you a swipe file for a no-brainer price or for free, it's just these frameworks that they're putting together and calling it a swipe file and just doing loads of different variations of them. How to claim what goes against what most people think is true. So these are just formulas, and it, like I said, Steve Blank created the how to X benefit without Y pain point, and he really taps into the psychology of how people buy. People buy from emotion and justify with logic, facts. So you've got to be able to really tap into, what is the benefit that someone's going to get from my masterclass without going through that horrible pain point. How do you have weight loss without going through feeling starving or just feeling like you want to eat everything or get yourself into a routine? You want to offer someone something they're really, really struggling with. Sorry, I'm moving my bar around. In fact, I'm going to minimize so I can't even see myself or anyone, so that way it's not disturbing the screen. There we go. So let's start off with building great headlines. So you want to start with the end benefit in mind. Okay, what's the benefit? What will someone get from your masterclass? And remember what I said about feature, not the feature, the benefit. The feature is the exact thing that you do. The benefit is what you're going to gain from doing it. Be specific. As much as I'm spouting all this stuff at you, and you'll be like, oh my God, how can I make one short headline out of all this information? And this is where AI can really help you. I want you to really be specific. I want you to use power words. So you want to trigger emotional response. And curiosity, like I said, always works. So we're going to go through an example of how to build out a headline. Follow me. This is not the headline that you'll get. It's a framework to follow. You might take parts out. You're going to be left with a long headline, but I think this exercise is also going to alter maybe what it is that you're going to say in your masterclass as well. It's going to give you some direction. Okay, so everybody ready? Got a pen and paper ready, handy? Just give me a yes in the chat. Oh, where have I gone? Oh, everyone. Here we go. Oh, I love that you've been putting your links in the chat. Right, brilliant. Absolutely love it. Yeah, that balance of not giving too much away is real. Okay, Daniela can't see the onboarding document. All right, yep, no problem. It's there now. Right, we've got our yeses. Yes. Right, brilliant. We've got our yes, we've got a pen and paper. So the examples that I'm giving you are completely random, just to let you know, and they're my examples. I want you to create your own. Okay, so don't do what I'm doing. These are just examples on the screen. So I'm going to base my headline on a baby sleeping product. Okay. And the first thing I want you to do is how to X benefit. What's the benefit of your headline? So, and it doesn't need to be as long as mine. Do you know what? Don't overthink it because this is just your starting point. You're going to be able to whittle it down, but this is your starting point of creating a structure of a powerful headline. So my how to X benefit is how to get your baby sleeping through the night. Okay. So mine is a baby sleeping product and how to X. The X is the benefit. So the benefit, as we all know, if you've got children when they were babies, how to get your baby sleeping through the night. So I want you to do the exact same thing based on your masterclass. How to X, how to benefit. What is the benefit? I'll give you a couple of minutes. You want to write down more than one thing, it's all a framework for you to be able to use afterwards and tidy it up. So, how to X benefit. So, my example is how to get your baby sleeping through the night, how to X benefit. And also, feel free to drop things in the chat, it can be useful. So, next, I want you to add in the specificity. Okay, I want you to be more specific. So, my example is the benefit is how to get your baby sleeping. The being Pacific, 12 hours a night in just 7 days. So I now want you to be Pacific. You've given the benefit, now add something Pacific. And numbers always work great. So someone's just joined. Just to let you know, we are doing an exercise of building out headlines so you get a really great headline because the headline of your masterclass is really key in terms of people actually wanting to watch your masterclass. It's just like how when we watch Netflix, depending on what that thumbnail looks like and what the title is can determine what it is that we're going to watch. So this is just the second bit for the person that just joined. The first thing was how to X benefit. So how to X, like what's the benefit of your masterclass? And what you see on the screen now is the example that I've given, how to get your baby sleeping through the night. So how to X, the X is benefit. So that's the first thing that we did. And the second thing we're now looking at is how to get your baby sleeping through the night. That was my benefit. But now we want to add the specificity. How to get your baby sleeping 12 hours a night in just 7 days. So I want you to use the example and use the framework to add in specificity for your masterclass. Right, I'm just in the chat now as well, by the way. So Shai has said, is this too generic? How to connect with every client every time to close more sales? No, I don't think that's generic at all. But remember the passivity as well as you put it in. And what we can do is go through them afterwards as well, by the way. Daniela has said how to market your book and create a lasting legacy. I love it. I do love it, actually. I think a lot of people who write books struggle in terms of actually how do I actually market it. And funnily enough, I wonder how many people, in terms of your audience, think about legacy. And actually, that is if legacy is something that is a solution of what your audience is looking like, perfect, because that's how you want to, everything you're doing right now, we want to view it from the viewpoint of your customer, not any of us, if that makes any sense. So go back and think about those of you that have had numerous clients, think about, okay, what is the benefits that they have gotten from you, or how to market your book and boost your sales. Yeah. Danielle has said how to turn your stress signals into your business biggest untapped asset. Really good, Danielle. So even Daniela, or how to market your book and boost your sales. It's got to be Pacific. So Actually, you would have just done the first bit. Now you can add the being Pacific in. So it would be something like how to market your book and get six-figure sales in a year. That's the whole being Pacific, if that makes any sense. How to turn a crushing no into a golden power move in 3 easy steps. Yep, love it. Right. Shai said, I'm struggling to quantify specificity. I'll keep working on it. And you know what, Shai? I struggle with this as well. If that makes any sense. Like you'll notice a lot of communities and coaches, will say things, our mission is to help 10,000 women do X, Y, and Z. There's numbers in a lot of things. So sometimes, but I sometimes find the numbers hard. And again, this is where you can get AI to help you. But just to go back to you, let's keep working on it. And ladies, if you put it in the chat afterwards, I'll give feedback on them. But let's keep working with them and going through them. So we've got the benefit, we've added the specificity in. Now we're going to add in more benefits. Remember what I said, the difference between benefits and features? Features is just what you do. The benefit is the results that you get from it. So now if I was adding more benefits to my baby sleeping product, it would look something like this. How to get your baby sleeping in 12 hours. That's the benefit. A night in just 7 days. That's me being Pacific and adding in more benefits and give you your life back. So add in one more benefit. And it might not structure or look right. There's a method to my madness, but afterwards you're going to have thought of everything from all angles that it's going to help you come up with one. So try not to jump ahead. Ooh, from doubt to declaration, build and claim your value proposition in 45 minutes. Yeah, again, that's brilliant, Dawn. Again, think about your audience. Sometimes your audience don't understand that they need you as a coach. And I think we even spoke about this. I'm very hot on value propositions, they're a big part of marketing. So I'm really hot on value propositions. Sometimes not everybody understands what a value proposition is. So you might even play around with messaging and wording, if that makes any sense. But I do like that from doubt to declaration. It's powerful. Build and claim your value proposition. You've put the time in 45 minutes. Value propositions take some people months. And if you know how to do them properly, that is something that might really attract someone. And it might be that in your copy, you have something of explaining what the value proposition is. Linda said, how to turn a crushing no into a golden power move with 3 easy steps and find confidence, clients, and cash flow. Brilliant. You've got the hang of this, Linda. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Don't overthink it, by the way. Just jot everything down. Don't overthink it. Because, like I said, we live in a world now where we've got AI that can help us and really drill it down. And sometimes you're going to brainstorm from this exercise anyway. So, next one. Oh, sorry, I've gone back too much. Now we want to add a power wording, which is going to trigger an emotional response. So far, we've got how to get your baby sleeping 12 hours a night in just 7 days and give you your life back. So now we want to add some power words in. So it might look something like this on my baby example. Say goodbye to stress and sleepless nights for good. How to get your baby sleeping 12 hours a night in just 7 days and give you your life back. Okay, so we want to add in the power words. We want to trigger an emotional response. And again, really try to tap into that empathy of like, what is the one problem in terms of what you offer that your customer segment has? You want to tap into that feeling. Like, what's that one problem that we have? How does it make us feel? Right. Next one we're going to go on to, like I said, try not to overthink too much. Oh, is she frozen? No, I was just giving a moment of silence to be able to work on the questions. Right, Linda, say goodbye to crippling self-doubt and turn a crushing no into a golden power move in 3 easy steps and find your confident clients and cash flow. Linda, you are on a roll. Brilliant, brilliant. It's what you're left with. You've now got something where you can now pick it out and put it together. Really good example. Oh, that's too funny, Shay. That was so funny. If I'm just being completely transparent, I was just quickly replying to a message about my son's football. But no, I trust trying to give you your space, so I'm just not nattering in your ear all the time. So right, next one. So you've added in your power words. Linda has just gave you some beautiful examples of what it should look like. So next is you want to add in the curiosity, ladies. So far we've got say goodbye to stress and sleepless nights for good. How to get your baby sleeping 12 hours a night in just 7 days and give you your life back. Okay, now we're going to add in the curiosity. So that curiosity I've added in is just one weird trick. So say goodbye to stress and sleepless nights for good. This one weird trick will get your baby sleeping 12 hours a night in just 7 days and give you your life back. So add in the curiosity. And remember, what I'm doing is just a generic example. Couple of minutes. Right. Daniela so far says, say goodbye to struggling with book sales like that one. That's a pain point. And turn your passion project into a powerful business tool and gain clients, credibility, and cash flow. Yeah, that works, Danielle. I really like the say the your opening line, say goodbye to struggling book sales. Sometimes you just got to say what it is on the tin. And for many people, they've written a book and it's kind of like, okay, what do I do with the book now? How do I get it into that? And for you to write a book, you're going to have to be passionate about what it is that you wrote about. I really like that. Really like that. And the curiosity is like, think about, in terms of the curiosity, think about what you do. Um, like, obviously, in this example, I've used this one weird trick. Um, for me, if I was to look at my audience, I would say, that curiosity, adding the curiosity is, you already know far more than you think you know. A lot of women that I work with shy away from technology, and in my mind, I see it as, well, if I can do it, you can too. It's like what it's making women curious. Like if I was to look at it from my perspective of what is it that they've got inside them that's going to work so well. So think about how you work with people and think about, what is it that you get out of them that they might not believe, like something they'd be curious to know, like how does that equal that? I'll give you about one more minute and then we're going to move on. Linda, you're just on a roll, aren't you? Right, say goodbye to crippling doubt and turn a crushing no into a golden power move in these that's my dyslexia, in 3 easy steps. This simple hack, love it, will give you confidence, clarity, and cash flow. This simple hack. Linda, you are really, really good at this. Linda is on fire. Got to give it an emoji. That's brilliant. How M iPhone? Sorry, I can't see the name. How about from hustle to harmony? 3 steps to thriving in life and finances, so you can live your happily ever after now. Love it, Susan. What if you have a product that can help someone? It still applies, to tell you the truth. I mean, I actually sometimes it's really funny. This is a part of a content marketing workshop that I actually run for one of my clients. And funny enough, most people that I do a lot of the exercising with feel like it's always for service based and not is always for product, sorry, and not service based. So it would still apply to be the same thing. Because if you had a product, for example, um, even this headline that I've given as an example. Oh, what have I done? I've just enlarged the chat. There we go. Didn't mean to do that. So even if you look at the example that I had given, oh, but I've got too much things going on here. Say goodbye to stress and sleepless nights for good. This one weird trick will get your baby sleeping in 12 hours in just 7 days and give you your life back. If I said this one weird thing, or if I changed that trick, does that make sense? Because a trick is something that isn't tangible. It would communicate that it was a product. Does that make sense? So, you still got to think about what is the benefit of your product? What does it achieve? So let's say I made cream. My husband does, that's what I thought of it. So we make all our own creams from shea butter. I could still, and sometimes when he makes it, he puts lavender in it. I could still say goodbye to stress and sleepless nights for good with this one weird ingredient that will get you sleeping. Does that make any sense? That now implies if it's an ingredient, it's a product. So it still applies even if you've got a product. That was Susan. Doreen. Rise above, unleash your strengths, overcome obstacles, and amplify your impact. Love it. But for me, what's just missing there, Doreen, is the being Pacific. So, what is it that you're like? Rise above, unleash your strengths, overcome obstacles, and amplify your impact. It's great, but the specificity is missing for me in terms of what is it that it's actually going to do. Does that make sense? I don't know. Is it rise above your cash flow, rise above your business? What are you rising above? Does that make any sense? And or is it overcome obstacles in X? So just be more specific, and that would read great. Daniela. Say goodbye to struggling with book sales and turn your passion project into a powerful business tool. Gain clients' credibility and cash flow. You'll you'll never guess how. I like that you'll never guess how, by the way. That's great curiosity there, and I like that. And sometimes as well, even when I think one of the things as I'm reading all of this is think about the specificity. What I mean by that, it could be say goodbye to struggling book sales on Amazon and in the marketplace. Because a lot of people that write books have put them on Amazon and find it difficult to sell. So that might be the being more Pacific. Now, instantly, someone thinks, "Oh gosh, I've been trying to get onto Amazon for years and it's just not working." It gravitates them towards your masterclass. So think about like what are their pain points in terms of writing of selling that book. Oh, someone's just come in. Shy thoughts. How to connect with any client in 30 seconds or less to close more sales and build a loyal client base using this simple communication hack. Love it. All I would say is when it comes to the numbers, 30 seconds is great, but that's a short amount of time. So it makes it a titch unbelievable if that makes any sense. So it might be how to connect with a client in 5 minutes or less. Does that make sense? Something just a little bit more realistic, but that reads really well. You've got all that in there, and this isn't your end headline, by the way. This is the start of you really understanding what it is that you want to convey, and you can play around with it. Yeah, Shai, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even if I could deliver on that promise where they could take 30 seconds and connect, it still just sounds too unbelievable.
What, the 30 seconds?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because yeah, 30 seconds is a short amount of time. So I would think about changing that into like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because you've not said where, how. Remember, there's a lot that you're just, because what you're tapping into there is the fact that I'm tired of the amount of time that it takes to connect to the client.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it might not be 5 minutes. You might be like how to connect with any client in 1 week or less to close more sales. Think about your audience and what time scale they would like with the numbers. Does that make sense? Because if you were selling something of really low value, 5 minutes is fine. But maybe if you sell high tickets, it's like, I'm never going to sell that in 5 minutes. It's not realistic. And that's where it goes back to even pre-qualifying your audience.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
everything we're doing in this exercise, you've got to get used to thinking about it from the viewpoint of your clients, the people that you want to attract.
Okay.
Yeah. So Daniela said, simple hat. Love that. Linda. Linda's on a roll. Linda's very good at this. Danielle has said the blind spot that's sabotaging you. I really love that. Turn your stress signals into your biggest untapped asset with a 4-step science-based strategy or your executive edge. The science-based strategic framework that transforms chronic stress into sustainable excellence. Absolutely love it. Just be careful on that end bit. We don't get too jargon. What I mean by that is just keeping it simple and to the point. But that is very good. Your first line hooks me. The blind spot that's sabotaging you. That's a hook. Linda's like, I'm literally following. You are, but it's not an easy task to do, by the way. And it's not an easy task to follow, Linda. So yeah, really good. Right, yes, Linda, I forgot you. Well, I didn't forget. I know you used to work for the BBC, but the 10 o'clock news meant that headlines were really, really important. Dawn has said from doubt to declaration in 45 minutes, 3 bold steps to own your power and secure your bag. Yeah. Just make sure that your audience understands the messaging bag. Makes sense? So when I think of a bag, okay, this is the ghetto bougie side of me coming out. I think of money. I don't know if
That's it. That's it. It's
okay, cool.
secure
Because
your
some people
bag and
might,
your money.
yeah,
But it's a
that's me.
yeah.
Like I'll say to my husband, are you gonna put 10 bags on that? So, and again, if I was your audience and you was connecting me, I might get it. You might have someone that's literally like, okay, is it the Gucci bag I've always wanted?
Yes, yes,
You'd be
yes.
surprised at how people interpret things.
I get it.
Perfect. How about tired of the hustle? Let's get you harmony in 3 easy steps so you can find happiness in life and your finances. Love it. Just more for me for that one, just a little bit more description of tired in the hustle of what? What hustle are you tired of? I know we all say I'm just tired of the hustle, but if someone knows you, they can put context behind you. Hot flashes. Put that. Oh my gosh, I have been seriously the hot flushes, sorry, are killing me at the moment. You don't understand. Like I'll just be fine, and then the next thing I know, my cheeks are burning, my head's burning. So instantly, now that you've said that, who yeah, I'm tuned in. That makes perfect sense. Danielle has come back. The blind spot that's sabotaging you. Turn your stress signals into your biggest untapped asset. You kind of nailed it with that full stop. But the purpose of today's exercise is seeing what you've got in there and then how you're going to do it. But I'm going to be honest with you, Danielle, you've got me at the blind spot that's sabotaging you. Turn stress signals into your biggest untapped asset. With a 4-step science-based strategy, your executive edge, the science-based strategic framework that transforms chronic stress into sustainable excellence. Love it. Makes me want to steal that first line. It is good, isn't it? Susan, say goodbye to hot flashes and brain fog for good. This one natural approach will take back your health in just 30 days. I love that. I'm your audience at the moment because I'm starting that process of perimenopause. So that just I relate to that instantly. Relate to that, and that makes me curious as well. Oh, well done, ladies. So now that you've got that, you've got all those examples. this is something you can now break this up, okay? You want to remember, you want to draw. Sorry, I've just got to minimize the chat a minute. You want to break up any long text now. Draw your eye to important sections in the copy. Like when you've got a really strong headline, especially if it is descriptive in there, the eyes are going to be drawn to specific words. They're going to be drawn to the power words. They're going to be drawn to the curiosity. So you want to figure out what it is you want people to draw the eyes to. You know, make your copy really easy to read. Don't make it too complicated. You want to build momentum in your headline as well, by the way, because building momentum means that it's going to make someone want to watch your masterclass or find out more about you. And, you know, when it comes to your headlines and sub headlines, especially the sub headlines, just think of them as mini headlines. Okay, so you can all do it in different ways. You've got your main headline and you've got the sub headline. You know, the sub headlines can sometimes, a lot of times, be pre-qualifying your audience. So you're telling people who this is for. And for your masterclass, especially where there are going to be 100 masterclass across 100 days, you do want to make sure that you pre-qualify your audience within your title. Because by doing that, you're speaking to the people that you want to listen and register. Okay, you want something compelling and attention grabbing, and the end goal really is to keep prospects reading and hooked and make them want to make sure they attend your masterclass. Okay, especially those of you that are keynote speakers and you're actually on the sales page. On that sales page, you have got a link that's going to take them back to LinkedIn to actually find out more about you. It's going to take them to explore. And that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that that headline is really going to draw them in when they see the schedule for the day. And I'm actually also going to be going through every single day what it is that, you know, our audience, the people that have bought tickets, the masterclasses they can join. So I'm going to be giving a summary of all of you at the beginning of every single day. So when I say 10 a.m., you know, I want to be able to say a headline that someone's like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. And if you all, from the last summit, ladies, I'm telling you, it's 20 masterclasses a day. You can't get through 20 masterclasses a day. But one of the things that shocked us the most about the last summit in March that we did was the fact that people came back and watched the masterclasses. And that's going to really be based on your headline. So I don't want to go over the hour today, and I really kind of have. But hopefully that has helped you in terms of really thinking about what is going to be my title. And like I said, work backwards as well. For some of you, it might be, you know what, I'm just going to finish recording, then I'm going to go back and really think about my headline. But at the same time, I'm hoping, thanks, Danielle, I'm hoping today is giving you an insight of how you're going to put together a title that is really, really going to grab the attention and get your audience to want to attend your masterclass, which is going to bring you more leads. Okay, next week we're going to speak about how to actually deliver the masterclass. And ladies, don't forget what I said about lead generation. It's really important. Use this summit to your benefit. Okay, we've got a month, we're 4 weeks out. So you should start having conversations with people and inviting them to the summit. The ticket link is in the chat, and also on your onboarding documents, the link to tickets are there. Okay, so be you know, just make sure you are having conversations with people and you are inviting them to the summit, highlighting that you're speaking there and inviting them to your masterclass, and using the summit and the topic of it as a conversation and icebreaker, and the fact that you're giving them something absolutely invaluable. Tell them, I've got free tickets for you. Okay, it's a way to get them into your masterclass and for you to be able to nurture someone. Shay, where have you gone? You had your hand up. I was just looking at you on the screen. Oh, there you are.
It up, but I think I had it up, but I think I forgot to put it down.
Oh, no problem, no problem. You know, when you were looking at me on the screen, I was like, where's she gone? You know, Zoom moves all the pictures all around. So, ladies, please, 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 I need you to make sure that you get your masterclasses in as soon as you can, or at least start practicing them. So, on that note, I have a little challenge. Before I've got the challenge, no problem, Daniela, you have a question. Hit me with it.
So, sorry, just trying to unmute my mic. Just a quick one. will we get some individual flyer? Maybe I've missed this. Will we get individual flyers or a flyer that we can use to promote the event?
Yes, you will actually. So we feature you on our social media channel and then we
Yeah,
collaborate with you and then you can share that. So at the moment, the content team is putting that together. And you've also got the option to get some like a carousel of your story created through us. So in your
yeah,
onboarding pack, there is the additional services and that's been working really well. But outside of the additional services of that, us like putting your story together in carousels, getting a static post and giving you a campaign to market yourself at the summit, we will still be covering you on a post that you can then share. And we will
yeah.
send some assets out on the WhatsApp chat that you can use it to promote. So I
Brilliant.
think today I remember sending a message to Abby, but remember, Abby, poor Abby, swamped with all,
I can
with all
imagine.
the please bear with her. By the way, in the she'll always get back within 24 hours. Sometimes it might slip into 48 hours, but you could imagine coordinating 100 women, sending out the onboarding packs, making sure everything's got where they are, helping with the lead generation, the calls that I do, putting the notes together on the calls that I've had. She's doing a lot. And funny enough, I did ask today to put a WhatsApp message into the group that you can easily just use and forward. So we will put some stuff in the WhatsApp group of things that you can share and promote. But remember,
Brilliant.
we are going to cover you on our socials and collaborate with you so you can share. And if you
Yeah,
can, guys, it's a no-brainer. We there's a fee of $49. It's in the onboarding pack under additional services. It's not about making profit. I promise you. If you was had to go onto Fiverr or Upworks, you're going to be paying within that region for what we produce anyway. It's actually just to cover the cost of the design. So it's worth you doing that. I it's oh, hang on, sorry, someone's here. Oh, Princess has let them in. It's worth you doing that. So look at the additional services. And I would also ask Daya, our head of content, who I think might be here, I'm not sure, just to post about that additional service on the group tonight so you can look at it. And if you're in, oh my gosh, brilliant point, Daniela. Thank you. Ladies, if you are not in the WhatsApp group, can you please make sure you join it because it's a direct link to just have quick conversations. There's nothing in there apart from us talking about the summit. It's a really great way for us just to communicate and get instant answers. So if you're not, the link is in the onboarding pack, but if you're not in that WhatsApp group, Princess, if you could quickly just put the link in the chat, that anybody on this call that's not in the WhatsApp group, if they could join it, that would be great. We've also got a LinkedIn group because some people don't have WhatsApp, but let's make sure we keep communication lines open. And we want to do it on a platform like a WhatsApp or a group because I don't know about you, I don't do emails every single day or every hour because I just get nothing done. And many of you are like that as well. Antoinette, my darling, your hand's up.
Hi there. I just wondered, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, hey, you fine.
Yeah,
How are
okay, great.
you?
I'm getting there. Thank you so much. I was wondering, do you actually have a recording of the previous summit that we could take a look at?
Yes, so there's a training that I did last week, by the way. The link's in the chat for you, and also the previous summit videos. Some of them are actually on my YouTube page. Sorry, Princess,
Okay.
I know I'm killing you tonight. It's okay. Princess, if you could just drop the link into the YouTube channel, please do. And ladies, on the YouTube, there are previous masterclasses from what we did in March. And we're just going to get bigger, better, and better every year. Don't forget for you to review. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of tutorials on there that are mega helpful for what you're doing right now.
Great, thank you.
No problem. Oh my God, Denise, I just saw your headline, Wonder Woman woes. Right, okay. There's a reason, Denise, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. See, that connects to me because I consider myself and every entrepreneur to be a superhero. So you just tapped into one of my beliefs. Does that make any sense? With the Wonder Woman woes, how to convey confidence and authority and prove your power before you open your mouth. I'll share the secret. Very good, Denise. Sorry, just saw that. Just saw that. So yeah, Princess will, and let me go through some of the questions actually. We'll send you to where some of the classes are from last year. Daniela had a question. You put your hand up. I've answered that. Linda said, can you send out an email with all the relevant links and replays for easy copy and pasting? Yeah, we can. We can do a summary after today's meeting in the WhatsApp group. So Princess, we're just repost the onboarding document. We're repost last week's recording, and we're also put a link to the YouTube. So any of the links that was in the chat, we will put in the WhatsApp group. Linda, no problem at all. All it is with emails is emails can sometimes go into spam folders. They can get lost in an array of different things, and that's why we're trying to push to the group. And don't worry, ladies, the group is not a group that we'll be using to sell or do anything with. It's a group for us to be able to communicate with one another and go through the logistics of the event, and for us to support you. No problem, Dawn. You're probably already gone, so I'm just seeing this. Sorry, have to run to a client meeting. This was great. Love that. I'm glad you found it useful. And good to see folks. Amazing. Thanks, Danielle. Danielle, I'm still loving that video that you did, by the way. It was just, yeah. We will talk on next session. Right, so Princess has put the link in the chat for WhatsApp. That's a really important link, everybody. If you are not on the WhatsApp group, please do. There's a link to the YouTube channel. If you scroll down, you'll see Top 100 Summit, and you'll see some of the masterclasses from March. Linda, if you put things in the description, they don't need to be pinned, and they're easily accessible. Ah, thank you, Linda. I'll leave that one with Princess. And Daya, we've created a speaker-only promo, so all the information about what I was speaking about creating carousels and creating a social media pack that you can really push it to, you know, your leads and use it as a lead generator and be able to, you know, have good authority, have great design, great content. It's worth it. It's worth it. I'm going to be honest with you. We're visible through content now. So to have the carousels alone, especially for those of you that hang out on IG, carousels do really well, as you all probably know. So that carousel, the static post that you're going to get, like I said, there we go. Oh, sorry, grab your pack here. You'll get 5 professionally designed assets. So the details of that are in the pack, and I'm sure Daya will just give exactly what those 5 professionally designed assets are in the WhatsApp group, or feel free to put it here. Most of you have seen it, but it is definitely worth it. And like I said, it's not just about exposing yourself on social media platforms at speaking at the summit. It's about using the content assets to make connections and have communication and conversations with people and invite them to your masterclass. Right, I think that's it. Right, before you go, I don't want to keep you too much longer. However, I've got a challenge for you all that I've put together. So it's a 60-second spotlight challenge. I really want you to start getting used to, especially those of you that are doing pre-recorded, to just speak into the camera. And remember, even if you're not doing pre-recorded and you're a keynote, your session is still going to be recorded on Zoom and then put onto the schedule. So I want to get everybody kind of, you know, loosened up and kind of get used to speaking to the camera. Some of you are already used to it. Some of you may do it periodically. Some of you might be terrified of it. But I really want to get you to become more comfortable with speaking to the camera. So I would like each one of you to put together a 60-second video to introduce yourselves as you were live at the summit. Okay, so this should include, thank you, Princess. This should include your name and your expertise, the key takeaway that they're going to get from the masterclass, and a hook to make your audience excited. So I want you to be bold, be authentic, be enthusiastic, show vulnerability, show that human side of yourself, and just post it in the WhatsApp group. Like, I set you a challenge. I wanted you to get used to. Post it on your social media. Tag us in. I really want you to get comfortable. I find practice makes permanent. Doesn't make perfect, it makes it permanent. To this day, ladies, do you know I don't really watch my videos back? Because I don't want to. When I'm speaking to the camera, I'm like this superpower. It's like I've got an alter ego. Even sometimes if I'm walking past my reflection, I don't feel like I even look like how I look in my head. Oh, Daniela, you neither as well. Yep, don't watch it back. I've got a complete version of who I am in my head is completely different to how I look and how I actually am. So the last thing I want to do is watch the video back. Even just hearing my own voice can be a bit cringe. I do get feedback from others. My team's really great at giving me feedback. If I'm doing a keynote, there are times that I will watch it back to perfect my craft and trade. But I've gotten so comfortable with the camera just by being my complete and whole self vulnerable. And just like how some of us use AI and we name it, I want you to name your camera. Think of it as someone that you talk to. So I will see a lens and you'll say, "Oh, could you do me a quick reel, Natalia?" And I will just action. I'll go into it. That's just come from practice, nothing else. Practice makes permanent. So I really want you to just get used to the camera. We are living in a world, we're in 2025, ladies. It's digitalized already. Look at how we're on this call and we're connecting with one another. Everything we do is going to be through a camera lens or some type of lens. So we've got to get used to talking to that camera. So I set you that challenge. Shai's like, I have to watch it back because of my podcast and being a trainer. I'm used to it now. I wonder, Shai, will I ever get used to it? The thing is, I see myself back and I'm fine with it, but ultimately, I don't really watch my social media footage. I'll just do it and get it done. And I'll just
Eventually,
speak from
you
a
will
place
get
of truth.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Eventually, you do get comfortable with it just because you realize it's a necessary part of the business. So it also helps you to work on your facial feature, your facial expressions, your body language, all of those different types of things. So if there's any way that you want to improve in your speaking, recording and watching yourself back is actually the best way to do it before, honestly, you actually do it. So what you're having us do is really important.
Yeah, because one of the things that I do find, so if I'm keynote speaking, I watch all my stuff back without a shadow of a doubt, because that's the only, like you said, like from watching myself back doing keynotes, there was a time where it's just like, oh my gosh, my pace is way too fast. Now I can control it. I can get really excited, but sometimes if I'm talking about something a little bit more serious, I can change my pace. So that, you're right, comes with experience and crafting your speaking as a keynote on a stage. But with social media, I tell you what I find, Shay, a lot of us try to bring that same attitude into social media. And what it means is you procrastinate because you wait for perfect to just film something. So when it comes to social media and doing challenges and doing crazy things, I don't watch them back. Does that make sense? Because I'm literally just being me. You're getting the raw, unfiltered Natalia.
And you know what? That's what people want. They want that on social media now. They want authenticity. They don't want perfection and filtered and edited and all that kind of stuff. So when we're you, we humanize ourselves.
Yeah. And that's what I want you to do. So I'm setting you this challenge. Please don't overthink the 60 seconds. And when it comes to putting content out and gaining visibility and gaining traction, I'm saying to you, use this to get leads. Don't treat this like you're on stage. Because if you treat it like you're on stage, you're going to wait for perfect and you won't do it. You'll be like, seriously, I think our head of content here is Daya. Daya, when you see the video I done today, for a challenge that we're doing. So the first batch that I did, I've got makeup on because I think I just came off running a session, Shay, so I'm in corporate mode. And I think I look all right, if I don't say so myself. Today, there's no makeup, the wind's blowing. I'm walking over the city of London and I'm recording. So even if you look at my Instagram, you will see there are days where it just looks like I've blown myself together. Okay, there are days sometimes, there's even times I've gone to film, my husband's like, you got a headscarf on. I'm like, oh crap. Because I'm just being, I don't overthink it. If you overthink it, you won't produce content. So I'm setting you a challenge just to become more comfortable with the camera. Because being on stage for me, I don't know about you, Shai, it's different. I don't see the cameras and I can see an audience. So I feed off the audience because I can look around, I can gauge how they're taking me. I can see the different types and I might think, let me change the next bit. With the camera, you've got none of that.
Exactly.
It's you and a lens.
Exactly. But the thing is, there's a saying that says that trainings is 1/4 preparation and 3/4 theater. So yes, when you're on a stage, you're going to project and feed off of the audience and do all of that even more. So the nice thing about, if you look at the camera and think of it as just, this is, you're talking to just a friend. You're just talking to somebody.
Yeah.
It takes time to get there, but you just like, I'm just talking to somebody, and you're
Yeah.
truly who you are. That authenticity comes across, that genuineness, and then people feel like I can relate to you, and I
Yeah.
feel like you do have something you can offer me because you are me, and
Yeah.
I'm, you're not, these influencers that nobody can attain to. No, you're a real person. You get
Yeah.
it. You understand. So that's the whole point of it. So I totally get that. And
As people would
it
say,
takes
what
work.
she said.
Mm-hmm.
What Shy said. And that's it. I just want to get you comfortable with the camera. That's all. And that's me. My camera is like my friend. If you get a camera out, it's like I'm speaking to my bestie now. That's how I do it. It doesn't matter what I look like. Even if I fumble over my words, I'm like, oh my God, I can't get the words out today. What's wrong with me? I'm so tired. I'll just talk like I'm talking to someone. And that's what I want you to do. So I set a challenge for you. And put it into the WhatsApp group, share it on social media, tag us in Women in Digital Business, Natalia Nicholson, anybody that you've even met through this summit, and tag us. But I really want to get you more comfortable with the camera because it's something that not everybody's comfortable with. No problem, Daniela. We are actually finished up. I'm glad you found that helpful. Princess has put the challenge into the chat again. Maria said, let me go think up some names for my new camera bestie. Maybe it can be ChatGPT's bestie, Maria. Right, Antoinette said, challenge accepted. This has been a great session. See you next week. Oh, that's funny. Maybe call her bestie. True words, Linda. True words. I call Chat GPT Chat. Like I'm literally like, hey Chat, how you doing today? Oh, no problem, Doreen. It's been a pleasure. Right, I've gone over as I always do by about 23 minutes. I will see you next week. Shy, I will see you tomorrow. Maria, I'll see you tomorrow on our sessions. And everybody else, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. And after the summit, if there's any of you that want to work more on your marketing, figuring out your automation and funnels, we will speak about that. But for now, I just want you to get the most out of this summit, because this is a relationship that will continue past October. I've had an absolute blast connecting with you all. It's been my pleasure. Thank you. So take care, ladies. See you next week, Wednesday. Bye-bye.